5 tonight on WNET 13
Let's go. It's my great escape during the day from business. The women love it.
No, I don't get out of the house till 3 o'clock.
Okay, Susan, right at the corner, honey, please. That's good. That's wonderful. Thank you.
You're the only man I love.
Coming up next on Media Probes. Major funding for Media Probes was provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Additional funding was provided by this station and other public television stations, the National Endowment for the Arts, the Rockefeller Foundation, the Ford Foundation, and the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation.
The media columnists seem to think that there's something sibling between you two. Our relationship is strictly business. We work very closely together, but that's as far as it goes. But he's a married man, you know.
Can we do this again and kind of push her a little bit more, okay? Kind of try and dig just a little bit. This is a little contest between the two of them to see if she can get the information and see if she can pull a wool over her eyes. Okay? Please go on.
Then you cut your ties with your hometown? Pine Valley? No. The editor of the Pine Valley Bulletin calls my mother for tips on my career. Everybody else asks me for advice on fashion and style. And you? Yeah, I try to be gracious, of course, but I mean, you can't be person in Pine Valley tips on fashion. My goodness, it's such a provincial town. Nothing ever happens there.
Pine Valley is a suburb, and it's a nice, quiet neighborhood where everyone's honest and decent, and all the families are close, and everyone knows everyone, and everyone's sort of related to everyone, and everyone's always sitting around with everyone else, and everyone's always pregnant. It's a pretty risky town, I think. You know, the elite lives there.
Pine Valley is, to me, the people are lustful, they're money crazy, they're power hungry, that's where they are, I think it would be a nice little place to live, but not to, study dance. I mean, I'm sure they have a dance school there, but not for me.
Welcome to Pine Valley. I'm Ruth, and for the past 12 years, I've played one of the leading roles here on All My Children, the famous and infamous Phoebe Tyler. Now, though Pine Valley is a fictional town, the community is very, very real for the 11.5 million people who regularly spend an hour of their day immersed in the stories that unfold in these rooms. Right now, it's 7:30 in the morning, and upstairs in one of the rehearsal halls, our director of the day is breaking down some of the 20-odd scenes that must be taped and in the can before any one of us can go home tonight.
You're going to really consider this to be one speech, practically. That's what I was doing. Yeah. You have to cut off sooner than that. Yeah, right. Practically run over her. Okay. I came over here to talk about us.
Brian and I told you we don't have any future.
That's right. That's right.
What did you say?
I'm not going to Europe.
Oh, Brian.
And then they break, and she looked at him, and she says, wonderful, and a really big kiss.
Oh, so tell me how this goes. So that's wonderful news?
Yes. Well, like a kiss. Kiss, that's wonderful news.
Kiss first?
Yeah, kiss first. Oh, well, after every minute with you together, kiss. Then she says, that's wonderful news. A big kiss, and then wonderful. Right. Is this for Rufus? Yes. Have you had a difference yet? I want to spend every minute I can with you.
Oh, it's wonderful. I'm going to hospital. You guys are really nice for all the love and all your system.
Everybody just kind of goes nuts when they have these soap stars coming out here. Of course, there's a lot of soap fans around, and they all seem to gather together at Liberty Land on the weekend that they have the Soap Live Show. Hello, Memphis. You guys are even crazier than the last time. I was a coach player about ABC.
Yes, sir. He's a great guy. He's the best person on the show. He's always everybody's good friend. I think he's kind of smart. He's very smart.
Everybody likes him. Everybody wants to be a friend.
And he really doesn't have a lot of affairs. And he's so good looking.
He hasn't been really in love and trouble with anybody. As far as I could see.
He's mainly investigating the marathon, trying to figure out whether Heather killed Diana or not. And he knows his head. They just doesn't have the fact. And he says to do it so that Kristen and all, that's part of her plan. Take advantage of him.
He's like 2 hours young.
You don't know how all of us fantasize. We do love to do a love scene with slow time. Somebody says me, do you want to try this? You know who you are? Can you just believe your efforts? You didn't just do a little improvisation of a love scene, and maybe Blake could tell me how much you like to.
The best thing you can do if you're going to have to kiss somebody that you don't know is to simply touch them. Good. See? Okay, and then I'm just going to get your arm around you. And I have to just say, now I have a line and you have a line. What are you going to do? I'll say, I think you need an evil. I think you're doing it gently. Let's put your arms there, around back, behind that. There you go. And just put it down up behind that. Now that's very sweet. That's very easy. Very gentle. You did? You going to tell them what it was like to kiss their face?
It'll take me 6 years to wash the smile off my face.
We have to have a boom covering the door and a boom covering this area. Okay, so we need 2 booms in this. Okay, cue, you move on the cue. Go, and you are, Claire.
How about if you stop over here, Vito, we can get that sequential New York style on.
Then tighten to the brush. And right in front of the window, please, honey. Right there. That's swell. Take the upstage position, Roger. Let's take your 72. Yes.
Might cut Vito if necessary. Cut him in half.
Yes. And let's see what happens. Take it to your 72 and see if there's enough time.
Okay.
She says, I'm sure you do. Please, go.
I'm sure you do.
5.
I called her. You know her. She can't do it today.
74.
Vito hasn't.
Stay right in close against the back of the chair, Roger. That's good. And, Susan, take a step around the corner and let me see what happens to the position. So let us stop you there, Susan. Okay?
I should let her get that part of myself.
No, you just say your line. She'll get there. Don't worry about it. Okay, Susan, right at the corner, honey, please. That's good. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Vito has an assignment to shoot some visiting dignitaries in about a half an hour.
Ring. Okay, now hold on right there, please. No, I had this wrong because I thought you had to shoot behind him, but now that I see we're here, we don't. So you're going to shoot across in front of him.
The directors and soaps are fantastic, and they're very underestimated kind of group. I think the soap director can go and do a movie and do it better than really anybody. They have learned to be concentrated. They're dealing with an unbelievable production load, especially the way the shows are done now. And they're about the most impressive people that I have yet to meet and create an environment.
But Erica, I think twice about that dog. The doorman didn't even bust us.
Let him get out.
Oh, well, he was branded.
See, that was fine. Just don't turn so much when you're don't turn so much to Brandon, right? Just a little bit. No, you can turn a little bit. Just don't turn so much. Can I react to that? Sure. Always react. Always react, even if we don't see it. Always react. Yeah. Don't just ask for me. Ask for you.
I think you have a own art form. I don't think that anybody can match something that you do on a daily basis. I've put a lot of these shows you had at nighttime, and I think you look better than a lot of them.
This is the living room where I play the role of Phoebe Tyler Wallingford. Phoebe is wealthy, imperious, and a matriarch of Pine Valley. Now, if she is abrasive and vain and manipulative and snobbish, and she is, she's also strong and courageous. And when you know what Phoebe has been through, well, her fundamental courage and her spunk become evident. Oh, there's really no point in trying to hide the fact that the Tyler family dominates Pine Valley. Well, our mansion on the hill clearly is the most outstanding landmark in the community. My husband, well, my once husband, Dr. Charles Tyler, is chief of staff at Pine Valley Hospital. And I, Phoebe Ainley Tyler, well, I've long been the leading socialite in town. But family has always been the all-consuming center of my life, and genealogy naturally a prime interest. Now, Dr. Charles and I had 2 children of our own, Lincoln Tyler and Anne Tyler. I arranged a marriage to Count Sensi. Turned out disastrously, and then Anne chose to marry that miserable, bravest person. It was awful to her. Anne did finally marry her childhood sweetheart, Martin. That brings the Martins, and there are other families in Pine Valley besides the Tyler. Now there's my son, Lincoln. Anne was just married to Amy, went with Nick. Not quite our sort. But he and Tyler was born to this sickly shape and had a little girl from rare disease. That's a heartache that little girl now to give herself in love with her twin sister, Kelly. This is his death. Well, there was nothing to do but go away into the sunset after that. I was just happy when that arm had been planted and my poor aunt was gone. Now, Chuck had been in love with Ted. The other Charles chose that Mona Kane. Bill came on the scene. Now, Erica Kane was Mona Kane's daughter. She married Dr. Martin. Sarah let me marry. Then she married Philip. Philip Tyler, then married Tom Cutter. Brent has to turn up to the Tom Cutter. He is now married to Brent. Then Professor Langley Wallingford came up. I was unzipped something in his past. I made an honest man of him, always terribly complicated, really, but then aren't all families. My mother once told me, don't ever marry a man who comes home for lunch. I married one who doesn't ever leave. He can't wait to get to the typewriter. He loves it. Most people I know who are married to writers have pushed their husbands to the typewriter. I don't have to do that. I never did anyway.
My day started when I was doing another reel at 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Whenever I wake up, I get up as soon as I wake up.
He's a compulsive worker. He really is.
I'd get up on the second floor, my wife would be sleeping, and I'd come up to the 3rd floor, dress, make some coffee, and come up here and certainly be at the typewriter by 4.
And he goes up upstairs. And I don't know what he does up there. I can hear it. When I wake up in the morning, I can hear the typewriter going.
If I type faster, I write faster, actually, because I can hardly keep up with myself on the typewriter. And it's one of the advantages of writing a stove, because it means you don't have time to think too much. You don't have time to really analyze what you're doing. You go a great deal on impulse, a great deal on instinct about behavior. I think character is story, you see. If you go from character, you always end up with good stories. If you start with story and begin to make your characters fit your story, you usually end up with something that's not very believable. My story is almost always related to interpersonal relationships. The major story on Another World, when I wrote it, was Iris and her father's young wife, Rachel. And that carried us for 4 years, because you can play variations on that. That's a real emotional sandlot you can play anything in. Procter & Gamble, the sponsors, have quite a bit to say, much more than they'll ever acknowledge. And it's not that they come out and tell you can't do this. It's that they shoot down the ideas that contain the new approaches. For instance, I wanted to do a homosexual story. And I wanted to do it with a sympathetic young boy who had been known to the audience from the time he was born. His parents were major characters on the show. And I wanted to show how parents reacted. I wasn't so much interested in the homosexual story as I was in a father who would say, I won't have a son who's a homosexual. And a mother saying, no matter what he is, he's our son. That's the conflict I wanted. And they agreed to it. And then finally, at the very end, when I was already putting the story into outlines, and the boy was telling his sister that he had found a friend in college and he was having an affair with him, they backed out. For the first 4 years, I did 5 scripts a week that were 15 pages each. The next 4 years, I did 5 scripts a week that were 30 pages each. And then the last 10 weeks, I did 5 scripts a week that were 45 pages each. And that's like writing a full-length play every other day.
But you insist that he had something like 54 characters running around up there. It was terribly hard for him, and he got sort of detached from the family. It was as though he was walking around in his own world, in another world, which indeed he was.
And it's a terrible feeling. It's a feeling that you're never free. That if you're walking down the street, you're not thinking, you're not stopping at a shop window and saying, gee, I think I'll buy that for my wife or my daughter. You're saying, oh, that man's some Pat. And there's a kind of crossover that's really terrifying if you're spending that much time, as I was by the end of it, because what you realize is that you're being victimized by your imagination. You never get away from it.
Sometimes I would ask him a question and he wouldn't hear me.
And then the fights at the conferences. Now, it's not worth the fights. And I was beginning to distrust everybody who I worked with, which is a terrible feeling. I didn't trust the producer anymore. I didn't trust the sponsor that I got on with all those years. And now, looking back on it, I sense it was more coming out of me than anything they were doing. You know. Although they weren't helping.
Towards the end of the lunch break, not everybody is here, and people are kind of gathering each other up and running lines and getting makeup and hair finished, because our run-through right after lunch is really a dress rehearsal. I'm sorry to you, but I think this is the best thing to do. Much better than dragging it out.
I do care about her, Erica.
You and I can be together now. Isn't that the main thing?
There's something else I want to do.
Yeah. I guess I know what that is.
Before that.
Right. After that run-through, there's a note session. The director comes set by set and tells us what we did wrong and what we've got to do right to get this show on the road.
What do you think you want? I want her to quit being Jack. No, that's not what he's talking about. You missed the whole goddamn... Look, she says, oh, besides that, we'll get to that later. He means he wants to go upstairs. Not right there. No. I'm sure if he gets... I have a cell phone myself. The important thing is now it's what we both want. Hey, there's something else I want. And she says, that's why she says, I'm sure I can guess what that is. Oh, I never. And he says, before that. That's what that is. That's a little sexual horseplay there. Yeah. Flop heads on the last kiss. You come this way, he goes that way. Oh, my God. Well, let me work on it. Okay. Let's get started. I'd like to be out of here by 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock?
Since I'm unemployed and have been for about a year, I got addicted to a CBS soap opera called Search for Tomorrow. I've never watched them before, and I have been watching it for 1 year, and it was on from 12:30 to 1, and it was wonderful because I would schedule the rest of my day at 1 o'clock, after 1 o'clock. And a week or two ago, they changed it to 2:30 in the afternoon, and I was furious. And I swore that I was not going to spend my day around 2:30. And I have. Now I don't get out of the house till 3 o'clock. I'm going to have to kick the habit and look for a job.
People have said to me, how did you get involved with this? And fortunately, I was in the right place at the right time. I was contacted by ABC, and they said to me, 20 million people watch the soaps every day. I said, 20 million a day. If one person bought one piece of everything that we like, I said it might be successful. I love soaps. I touch them whenever I can. It's my great escape during the day from business. The first thing we did was the coffee mug, which was the easiest thing to get into. The mug has been selling very well, no matter what goes on it. That Coach Wood, he schedules a lot of practice work for like 1 o'clock, and that's where all that trivia come out. And we're usually disappointed because we can't watch. But usually we can catch one of the two, catch all my children or one out to live. And if we catch one of those two, then we're pretty happy. We try to look at the products and say, now, what can you use and how can you take a title like General Hospital and relate it to something? For example, when we did the notebooks, instead of just doing a regular notebook, we made it staff notes so that it was meaningful and the kids could relate to it in that respect. You'd be surprised going into the student center at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon how many people are sort of glued to the TV. It's an apron which you can just take and slap it on like that. So we took it and we put kitchen staff on it, and it's gone very well. The women love it. They just find that it's a fun item. You get to know people and their relationships to one another, how they grow up and have children of their own and divorces of their own and second marriages. And it's one of the hottest items in the country right now. And we just did I Love the Soaps and I Love General Hospital, and the kids just can't get enough of them.
It feels a little strange saying that I would go home to watch a soap opera. But it's great entertainment. They're great actors. Good stories.
Probably could sell anything if the fans saw the stars using it and they decided they had to have it.
Now, soap operas are really in the same classic tradition as Homer, Scheherazade, and Tolstoy. Like in 19th century England, people waited on street corners for Dickens novels when they were presented as periodicals. Those were the serials of their day. This is an original copy of Nicholas Nickleby. And you see, it has advertisements on it, just like we have commercials. Televised soap operas are today's serials. And more people watch the soaps than the sum total of all of those who have read Dickens through the ages. And that makes soap operas a powerful force in our culture. What about your boss? What about him? Well, the New York columnists seem to think there's something sizzling between you two. Well, I never read those things. Well, I happen to have a copy right here.
One.
Seeing stopping at New York's cheapest and priciest East Side eatery was the lovely Erica Kane, Century Archives Magazine latest dazzler, and her obviously enamored boss, Brandon Kingsley. My goodness, they'll print anything, won't they? Then you deny that it's a romance. Absolutely. He's a married man, you know. Why, he's taking his family to Europe this summer. Or, so I understand.
One. Upward. Let's go from the top.
Okay, let's get to that side.
That's 5, take 1.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wait a minute, no surprise. Oh, let me introduce you.
4, 5, take 5.
Why, we wasn't banned in Cleveland.
Country magazine. Please.
Unexpected pleasure to meet you, Mr. Cleveland.
Pleasure's mine. I know you're byline.
Thanks. But, Erica, I've been twice about that guy.
Take pride.
Your man didn't even invite me just now. Oh, he was Brandon.
Oh, my. Take it.
Brandon helped me to find this place. You've got a service center that offers all the things?
Five. No, it's very expensive when you want to be a comfortable responsible. Oh, please take three.
Thank you, Erica. I've got some good stuff here. Oh, you're the more even better stuff when you leave over at Chad's studio. I'll be in touch. Goodbye. Bye. Thank you, Liza.
What's this about? Chad, where is he anyway?
Oh, Chad taking you to town, Chef. Well, you have another assignment across town.
Yeah, well, I didn't come over to talk about Chad Norris.
Oh, you've had enough.
I want to talk about us.
Brandon, I told you that
Not going to Europe.
there's no future. What did you say?
I said I'm not going to Europe.
You're not.
I want to spend every minute I can with you.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, that's wonderful.
I needed that.
Of course you did, poor darling. Was it difficult for you to tell Sarah?
Very.
She wasn't sure it was. Oh, I'm so sorry, but we can really have it we want. We can be together. That's what we want.
Yeah, there's something else I want.
Right. And I think that's what that is.
Before that, I want your word that you won't see Chad Norris again.
How in the world would I want to see Chad Norris when I have you?
Then you'll break it off with him?
Nothing to break off. You're the only man I know.
And he dissolved to death. Okay, that worked. And that was tough. That was tough too, guys. Very good. Thank you.
Next Wednesday night at the same time, downtown and Swayze on Media Plan. Master Studios Robert McNeil hosts a documentary look at a controversial painting at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. It's Time Magazine expert Robert Hughes. That's first, next,